Hello again. BJP leader Rohan Gupta has slammed the Congress party and also the India Alliance over Samajwadi Party leader Maria Alam Khan's vote jihad comment. Now, this is what he said. Let's listen in.
जिस प्रकार से कांग्रेस गठबंधन के स्टेटमेंट आ रहे हैं, मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं हार का स्वीकार कर लिया है। अभी तक जिहाद की बात करें तो वोट जिहाद करके नए शब्द का प्रयोग किया। जब तक ये तुष्टीकरण चालू रहेगा तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि देश की जनता कभी भी कांग्रेस या उनके सहयोगियों के ऊपर भरोसा करेगी। अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी को लगता है कि ये बयान गलत है तो अब तक कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कोई स्टेटमेंट क्यों नहीं दिया। मुस्लिम तुष्टीकरण करके कभी भी आप देश की जनता का विश्वास नहीं जीत सकते हैं। अब मुस्लिम तुष्टीकरण के नहीं, सशक्तिकरण की जरूरत है। हर भारतीय के सशक्तिकरण की जरूरत है। मोदी सरकार की जितनी भी योजना हो, कहीं भी उन्होंने ना धर्म ना जाति का कभी कोई भेदभाव किया। हर भारतीय को किस प्रकार से एक सूर में जोड़ के आगे बढ़ाए, उस प्रकार की उनकी नीति रही। तब कांग्रेस पार्टी बुरी तरह से, उनका नैरेटिव एक्सपोज हो चुका है देश की जनता के सामने, और 2 राउंड के चुनाव के बाद अब उनको लग रहा है मरता क्या ना करता। तो इस प्रकार के स्टेटमेंट देकर भड़काने का जो प्रयास कर रहा है, मुझे लगता है जो बचे कुचे वोट है वो भी खत्म हो जाएंगे। देश की जनता कभी भी नफरत का साथ नहीं देती है। आप विकास की बात कीजिए, आप विजन की बात कीजिए, आप क्या आएंगे उसकी बात कीजिए। इस प्रकार की नकारात्मकता भड़काने वाले स्टेटमेंट से मुझे लगता है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपनी हार स्वीकार कर ली है, और बाकी के राउंड के जो चुनाव है इससे भी बुरा हार मुझे लगता है कांग्रेस पार्टी और उनके सहयोगियों का होगा। जिस प्रकार
Well, the war over manifestos refuses to die. It's been over 3 weeks since the Congress party released its manifesto, but the BJP, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, have been attacking it relentlessly. Now, the idea of an economic X-ray that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi keeps speaking about, the Prime Minister has said, amounts to raiding every house, every field, and it can disrupt the social fabric of this country. This is what the Prime Minister said. In fact, today, the Home Minister Amit Shah in Guwahati again lashed out at the Congress party, calling its manifesto against the spirit of the Indian Constitution. The Congress, meanwhile, has said that the BJP is reading a manifesto that's written by a ghost, and none of the controversial things such as inheritance tax or wealth redistribution are part of this manifesto. He also said that, in fact, Home Minister Amit Shah also said that the Congress party stole reservation that was meant for OBCs and gave it to Muslims. Let's unpack this battle over manifesto today. Joining me is a panel of guests, but first, let's listen to what the Home Minister said today.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने हमारे 4 से 400 पार के लक्ष्य को ट्विस्ट करना शुरू किया है। एक अपप्रचार कर रहे हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी 400 पार करने के बाद आरक्षण को समाप्त कर दी। हम 10 साल से पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ की सरकार चला रहे हैं। हमने पूर्ण बहुमत का उपयोग कांग्रेस की तरह इमरजेंसी डालकर लोकतंत्र का गला घोंटने में नहीं किया। इमरजेंसी डालने के लिए, लोकसभा का टर्म एक्सटेंड करने के लिए, संविधान बदल करने में नहीं किया। हमने पूर्ण बहुमत का उपयोग धारा 370 को समाप्त करने में किया, ट्रिपल तलाक को समाप्त करने में किया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी एसटी, एससी, ओबीसी के आरक्षण की समर्थक है। एसटी, एससी, ओबीसी के आरक्षण में किसी एक राजनीतिक दल ने अगर डाका डाला है तो वो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने डाला है। सबसे पहले उन्होंने संयुक्त आंध्र प्रदेश में मुसलमानों को रिजर्वेशन दिया। वो रिजर्वेशन के कारण ओबीसी का रिजर्वेशन कटा। उसके बाद में कर्नाटक में रातों रात कोई सर्वे के करे बगैर, पिछड़ापन तय करे बगैर सारे मुसलमानों को ओबीसी कैटेगरी में डालकर उनके लिए 4% का कोटा रिजर्व कर दिया। इससे भी पिछड़ा वर्ग का रिजर्वेशन कटा है।
Joining me now are Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, Pooja Tripathi of the Congress, and Aarti Jairath, who's a senior journalist and author. Thank you all of you for joining me on this show. Ms. Ilmi, to you first. Congress is saying that the BJP is talking only about the Congress manifesto and not about the BJP's manifesto. How will you respond to that, ma'am?
First of all, I would like to say that I think Congress is so desperate and so uncomfortable because it now realizes that the defeat is all too clear to them, which is why they're resorting to lies and this is completely, explicit in the way you see this video, which has been doctored and is being used. So they've realized that they have nothing much to show for themselves. There is no mission in place. There is no vision. There is no leadership. Imagine 72 hours before the last date of nomination, last time allocated, and we don't have Rai Bareli or Amethi candidates also announced yet. So forget about Congress, but the fact is that now they are attacking whatever BJP is saying because they know they have nothing much to offer. So much so that these fake videos are doing the rounds. And now the entire issue of Arakshan and reservation, and we've called them out on that. If you see what's happened in Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh or Kerala, right from 1994, Veerappa Moily, how the whole idea of a reservation came about and how 6% reservations were given to Muslims in government jobs and educational institutions at the cost of OBCs. So now when they will talk about OBCs, shouldn't we read this, their own manifesto of 2009 and what Veerappa Moily did? Shouldn't we go out and clarify about the lies that are being made about BJP? So I don't think we should attack the manifesto. We should tell the people what Congress has in plan. For them.
Pooja, would you like to respond to that? Because the Prime Minister is also saying that these are dangerous ideas in the garb of solutions, and this could actually create conflict in society. What I want to ask you is, does the manifesto have a lot of points which can be open to interpretations that are largely open-ended, something that even a spokesperson or a normal karyakarta would not be able to explain clearly? Is that why this manifesto has become such a point of debate?
Also, I was listening to Mr. Amit Shah's presser today, and he ended up his presser saying that opposition political party should contest elections based on principle, actions and manifestos. Talking about manifesto, Bharatiya Janata Party prepared a hush-hush manifesto in 13 days, which is nothing but a glorified photo album of Modi ji in different poses, different costumes, different angles, nothing. There is no roadmap for the back-breaking inflation. There's no roadmap for the sky-high unemployment that country is facing. There's no roadmap for the agrarian distress. Talking about principles, I'll counter on principles action. I just countered on manifesto. What we have seen, the day Congress manifesto has been out, and I want to thank Prime Minister Modi for his being the biggest cheerleader. He's been the biggest campaigner for Congress manifesto. Only thing that he talks about after 10 years in power is Congress manifesto. Congress manifesto, Congress manifesto. And what we see is a naked display of lies, debauchery, and absolutely manipulative tracts from Muslim League. He sees a reflection of Muslim League, not to remind them their association with Muslim League in forming a government in Bengal province. He sees he tells people that they will snatch away your Mangal Sutra Sona. They will redistribute.
No, Pooja, I think the Mangal Sutra comment is also because there is a certain speculation that if there is caste census, there is also wealth redistribution that's going to happen, and Rahul Gandhi has spoken about it. And I think the Prime Minister was trying to say that every person here owns a little bit of wealth. So that's also one way. Let me ask this question to Aarti Jairath. Ma'am, do you think that the Congress manifesto has certain open-ended areas which have actually led this document becoming the subject of discussion, or do you think that this is all a politicizing document that basically talks about equality?
Vasudha, firstly, this seems to be open season. Both sides are attacking and spreading disinformation about each other's slogans and manifestos and so on. That is the unfortunate thing about this campaign, because the real issues which bother common people, which is inflation, unemployment and so on, are not being talked about, right? Secondly, tell me, when was the last time we had a poll manifesto as the centerpiece of an election campaign? Poll manifestos are normally released, they make one day's news and then they're forgotten.
Yes.
Everybody forgets about them. It is amazing that this time a poll manifesto, that too by an opposition party, has become the main talking point of a campaign. And, the thing is that for the first time, we're seeing that the BJP is responding to a narrative that has been set by the opposition. Normally, the BJP sets the narrative and the opposition responds. But this time...
Yes, that's very interesting, yes. Let me ask this question to... Aarti, I'll come back to you. Let me ask this question to Shazia. Shazia, also, you know, like Aarti says, that the BJP seems to be responding. Also, this one question, why does the BJP feel the need to go on clarifying that it's not against reservations? Because, you know, that is something that BJP leaders have been talking about. Is it because, you know, the Congress has been saying that there could be changes made in the constitution?
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, of course, BJP will use everything that Congress will leave out for them to rip them apart with. So, which is exactly what Congress has done, open to self-goal. They have talked about use of personal law, and they think they will want to bring back personal laws as part of the manifesto. Surely BJP should tell people what that means. Congress, which is very well known for its succumbing to the clergy, to the mulladom, so to speak. So surely BJP will talk about what is the stand on UCC, whether they will want to revoke the law on triple talaq. It is an important question, right? When they talk about inheritance tax, when they talk about redistribution of wealth, what model do they have in mind? So these are very important questions. When they will talk about inheritance tax, surely BJP will talk about what happened when Rahul Gandhi came to power after Indira Gandhi died and how this tax was abolished. Only that Rajiv Gandhi would benefit. So there's lots to be said. You know, you say whatever you're saying, but you don't have the guts to stand by it, substantiate it. You're talking about reservation. So surely BJP will talk about what happened in 1961.
Dr. Tripathi, would you like to respond to that? Because clearly, you know, there is one thing in the manifesto. There are also some other things that Congress leaders have been talking about, including Rahul Gandhi and Sam Pitroda. Would it help to really, you know, like focus on a few simple things and not really talk about really complex issues right now? Because that also would amount to, you know, making some people apprehensive.
You know, I would agree with Ms. Aarti ji when she said that BJP is responding to Congress manifesto. As I said, Prime Minister Modi is the biggest cheerleader. In our 56-page manifesto, nowhere redistribution is written. I'd like to give a copy of manifesto to Ms. Ilmi. Nowhere inheritance tax nowhere we have stood by inheritance tax, and we have made it ample clear we have no intention of a distribution tax. Who has started this debate of changing the constitution? From Anand Hegde, Jyoti Mirdha, Lallu Singh, candidate Arun Govind, they say हमें majority चाहिए, 400 पार चाहिए क्योंकि constitution बदलना है. So what is there? And look at the history of RSS. From 2015, Mohan Bhagwat said Arakshan need to be eliminated at a timely phase. From Guru Govalkar to their media.
Revalued. It has to be revalued.
Okay, let me get Aarti here. Aarti, reservations have become central to this debate, and it's becoming a clash of narratives now. There's the BJP on one hand talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and of course the Congress party talking about a caste census here. Where do you think the problem is? Because both parties seem to be really, you know, like being, you know, they're getting at each other, and they're saying that, you know, one party the other party is going to sort of like, you know, scrap reservations, bring in religion-based reservations, whereas on the other hand, the BJP is being blamed for, you know, scrapping OBC reservations, which it says it doesn't intend to do.
Well, you know, firstly on this issue of religious-based reservations, I would like to point out that Karnataka has had, you know, religious-based reservations for quite some time. In between, we had a BJP government for 5 years. They did nothing to scrap that reservation. They continued with it. So, you know, I mean, it's a bit of a farce now when the BJP says that we are not going to allow religion-based reservations. But anyway, that's besides the point. The fact is that today, you know, what you're seeing is, you know, scaremongering. You know, both sides are scaremongering. One side is scaremongering with, you know, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and saying your reservations will be taken away. The other side is scaremongering with Hindus, saying that your wealth will be taken away and given to Muslims. So, you know, I mean, the whole campaign has gone into negative mode. It is a, you know, from both sides, it's a very negative campaign instead of being a positive campaign with, you know, where you talk about, you know, what you want to do for the country, what is your vision for people, how are you going to resolve all the issues that trouble people today. They're not talking about that. They're just trying to scare, you know, voter bases, their own voter bases.
Right. And the last word from Shazia, do you think that it is true that the BJP is responding to the Congress party's manifesto? I understand that, this is politics, but it looks like unusually the Congress manifesto since April 5th has been the subject of debate every day now.
Yes, I think people should be told as to what Congress stands for. So our principal challenger and their ideology and what their vision is must be told to the people, because clearly they have a point of view. But what does it mean and how does it translate for the people of India in terms of personal laws, in terms of inheritance taxes, in terms of X-ray, social X-ray vision, in terms of all that Rahul Gandhi is talking about, कि किस तरह से खटाखट money will go into the poor people's deposits. So I think that they must be exposed. So BJP will continue to expose Congress party, all they have done in the first 60 years of their rule, and also what their present manifesto is. And what is
Pooja, anything from you on this, that the BJP, she says that the BJP will continue exposing the Congress's manifesto. Do you think that's what the party is doing?
Nowhere we have mentioned redistribution, nowhere we have mentioned inheritance tax.
But your leaders have been talking about it, right? Like, inheritance tax and
law, as is claimed by Amit Shah and Yogi Adityanath. Nowhere we have claimed that the country would be governed by Sharia law. I'm very happy that Ms. Ilmi has picked up this khatakat, because that's what the women of the country will get when the India Alliance comes to power on June 4th.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, Aarti, I can't come to you. I'm running short of time. Thank you so much for joining me on this show.